it's Caslin here. From drinking out of human skulls to waiting for UFO salvation, here are 10 bizarre religions that actually exist. Number 10, AGORI. An Indian religion that worships the goddesses Shiva and Kali Ma, the AGORI are a feared and mysterious tribe. Probably one of the most radical religions on the list, the AGORI practices are feared and many tend to stay away from them. Many of their beliefs are reminiscent of Buddhism and Hinduism. I mean, they are an extreme offshoot of Hinduism after all. For example, they wear very little clothing to discourage attachments to material objects, but that's not what makes them so feared. The AGORI are known for their radical rituals. The biggest one is that when people die, their bodies are either used as clothing, turned into altars, or eaten as a reminder that we are all mortal. On top of consuming human flesh, they also ingest urine and fecal matter. Many times, though, the remains of a body that aren't used are dumped into the Ganges River. Another one of AGORI's disturbing traditions are drinking from human skulls. Bones are also used to make jewelry for the tribe. That's kind of cool. Followers of the religion pride themselves in living in cemeteries to be closer to the dead, and to consistently remind everyone of the truth of mortality. Number 9, royalism. Many people question how the Earth came into existence, and you'll probably get a different answer with each person you ask. One group of individuals who tried to explain the Earth's existence were the royalists. Their belief lies solely in UFOs, and they strongly believe that we as humans were created by a technologically advanced species of aliens, then deposited on the Earth to roam among our planet. Apparently, these aliens disguise themselves as angels to purposely deceive us from knowing that they were extraterrestrials. This species of alien is called Elohim, which is strangely similar to the name used for the God in the Christian Bible. However, royalists are familiar with the Bible as they believe that Buddha, Jesus, and many other religious figures were simply prophets of royalism. Their current mission is to take on the role of the final messengers to let them know about Elohim so that the aliens will one day welcome them back openly. Now, if you ever happen to come across a royalist on the street, you'll recognize them by their symbol, a swastika embedded in the Star of David. Number 8, the NUWAUBIAN movement. Once upon a time, there was a man named Dwight York who was a devout Muslim. He put together many black Muslim groups in the United States throughout his time. But after a while, he began to shift around his teachings and beliefs, mixing in many principles and ideas from other religions. Eventually, he did away with Muslim roots altogether and instead focusing more on UFOs and Kemetism, which is a modern belief in ancient Egyptian mythology. This conglomerate of beliefs, along with his black-only group, created their own buildings and renamed themselves to the United NUWAUBIAN Nations of Moors. Some of their strongest beliefs were placed in the theory of UFOs, the Illuminati, and various other conspiracies. Perhaps their most dangerous belief was the idea that whites were bred to be killers and lacked any emotion, thought, or being. And apparently, according to him, Cain from the Bible was so bad that his name was short for Caucasian. Eventually, this movement lost steam as the founder was tried and convicted of nearly 200 counts of child molestation and minor trafficking. He was imprisoned and sentenced to 135 years. His religion was so intense that he was actually labeled a black supremacist cult leader. Yikes. Number 7, Discordianism. The premise of this religion is the belief in the early Greek deity Eris, the goddess of chaos and discord. This belief centers around the idea that both order and disorder are simply illusions, and that neither are more true than the other. All that exists is chaos. All who adhere to Discordianism are allowed to add any other religions they want as long as they accept the 5 laws, one of which states that they are to go off alone, partake joyously in a hot dog on a Friday. They also believe in what they call the law of fives, that everything that takes place in the groups of 5 are divisible by the number of 5. Their trade symbol and parody is a parody of the yin and yang called the sacred cow, which with a pentagon on one side and the golden apple of discourse on the other side. According to the Discordians, the symbol represents everything anyone would ever need to know about anything, and also represents things worth not knowing. However, many experts debate whether this is true or a parody religion. Who knows? Number 6, the Church of SUBGENIUS. Many times in our culture, things that people don't like are often mocked, imitated, or satired. A man named Ivan Strange felt that many traditions and beliefs in religion of his time were quite joke-worthy, so he came up with his own ideas. He spent quite a lot of time criticizing the current religions by drawing inspiration from them for his own little world. The end result was the Church of the SUBGENIUS, established sometime in the 1970s. The primary god of the figure of SUBGENIUS is dubbed Jehovah One, and on top of the stolen name, bears a lot of strange resemblance to cultural references of the time, such as the Illuminati symbol and UFOs. The church itself heavily disregards the idea of absolute truth, and instead focuses on a much more interpretive style. They also place great emphasis on having slack, which is pretty vague in definition. And just as you would expect from a religion of this nature, many young college students and artists find themselves in their ranks, feeling that it expresses deeply felt convictions, while many others still see this whole establishment as a joke of some sorts. Number 5, Prince Philip movement. This religion is very small and only exists on a village in a small island off the coast of Australia, the YAHWEH village, told tales of many, many years about a sacred entity that lived in its mountains. This spirit journeyed far across the Pacific and found more land. When he got there, he fell in love with a very powerful woman and took her hand in marriage. Before he left though, however, he promised to return. Now, YAHWEH isn't exactly a very well-known place, so the likelihood of getting visitors is very slim. Nonetheless, that didn't stop Queen Elizabeth and her husband, Prince Philip, from visiting the island in 1974. The villagers believed that Prince Philip was the legendary spirit who once spoke of in their old tales, and loved him so very much. After the couple left, he sent the villagers a total of 3 pictures of himself, all of which were kept by the villagers' chief for religious purposes. In return, they sent him a club commonly used for killing pigs. At first, Prince Philip was not aware that he'd become an official religion, but after a few years or so, he eventually caught on. Number 4, happy science. Some religions are subjected to debates to figure out whether they are true or parody religions. Others are debated about because some people believe they should be labeled occults. This is the case with happy science, a Japanese religion introduced in the 1980s. Its founder, Ryohei Okawa, brought all of their beliefs to light, the biggest of which is that he himself has the spirits of Jesus, Buddha, and that many other religious figures move and speak through him. He also states that he is an incarnation of their god figure called El Contere. Apparently, El Contere is a secret name of God in the Old Testament, but not in the New Testament, strangely enough. Despite this idea of El Contere, happy science recognizes the existence of many gods, which all of his advocates believe on top of Okawa himself. Happy Science is also a political department where they encourage the use of military and nuclear weapons. Due to their unique nature and beliefs, many have criticized the religion as a whole, labeling it a cult. Those in Japan and across the ocean have all argued about this topic. Whether it's true or not is easy to see that Happy Science does push the boundaries a little bit. Number 3, the AETHERIUS Society. Another devout UFO religion, the AETHERIUS Society, is a result of the New Age ideas mixed with classics and recognizable religions. Its founder, George King, once stated that he long ago made contact with an alien species, and that's where he got the basis for the entire religion. These aliens, or cosmic masters as a king calls them, want to interact with humans and have a true peace across worlds. The king and the members of the AETHERIUS Society are all advocates of this true peace and try everything they can to promote it. Among their many mixed ideas from Christianity, Hinduism, and Buddhism, the AETHERIUS Society believes that a powerful being, the next master, will descend from the clouds in a UFO, stronger than anything this world has ever known. They also believe the idea of spiritual healing batteries which store healing energy. The name of this religion comes from a cosmic master who descended from the planet Venus, along with Jesus and Buddha, coincidentally. In 2011, it was suggested that membership of the society had grown into the thousands. So, where can I sign up? Number 2, the Nation of Yahweh. Don't let the name deceive you. The Nation of Yahweh is not Christianity. They are a spin-off of the Black Hebrew Israelites, a group of African Americans who are convinced they are the true descendants of the biblical Israelites. The Nation of Yahweh takes this belief a little bit further in saying that the followers are not only Israeli descendants, but must retake their nation of Israel. Due to his strange beliefs, its leader, Yahweh ben Yahweh, was labeled many times as a black supremacist, much like Dwight York. The Southern Poverty Law Center stated that the Nation of Yahweh went as to see white people as devils, and that Yahweh ben Yahweh's true purpose was to destroy all whites. He even was outlandish enough to dictate what his followers wore, ate, and how they managed their sex lives. All in the name of his religion, of course. Yahweh was also known to sleep with many of his female disciples. A lot of controversy was spawned regarding the religion, where Yahweh could essentially do whatever he pleased, but he was never imprisoned. In 2007, he passed away, but the religion is still active. However, they claim to turn from their more radical beliefs ever since then. Number 1, Scientology. Scientology is as bizarre as it sounds. In an attempt to balance science and religion, L. Ron Hubbard came up with the idea of Dianetics, a religious belief that he delved into the area of medical health. After filing for bankruptcy, however, Hubbard lost the right to use Dianetics, so he simply renamed the system Scientology. Scientologists say that all of their beliefs and practices are based on sound and thorough research. Now, they don't particularly believe in a deity. Instead, people are encouraged to come up with their own conclusions through their own experimentations. Despite their research, Scientologists are strongly against mental health practices, such as seeing a therapist for mental health. This is solely because Hubbard's wife spoke with doctors who advised her to get him some mental help. Therefore, he labeled them as corrupt and often spoke out against it. They instead place emphasis on people looking into their own minds and psyche to figure out how to help themselves. There are quite a few more practices associated with Scientology, but there are so many to number that it would be better off to do the research for themselves. Thanks for watching! If you like this video, make sure to subscribe below for more PT Planets, and I will see you next time. Bye!